India is surrounded by myths and stereotypes. When I tell people from outside that I live in India, they either imagine my home as a Maharaja palace, like assuming that I must be really rich, or they see me as a part of a large traditional household, thinking that my own way of life, the way of life that I'm used to, has completely changed. Well, the truth is, it's neither. My life is neither. In fact, my life looks pretty much like it could be anywhere else in the world. Yes, that's the perks and prejudices of globalization. And this is what I'll be showing you in this video, what my real life in India looks like, not what people imagine it to look like. I moved to India 2 years ago. I didn't come here to find a short-term shelter. I came here to build a new life and a new home from scratch. Even though I moved here for the love of India and for my family, I still moved to a completely new country. No matter how much I wanted to be here, I could not forgo the adventures that always come with relocation. Moving to a new country seems romantic unless you actually do it. When we arrived, we couldn't even find a house. Well, like anyone else, ask an immigrant, ask a person who just moved to some other country, and you'll see they'll all have similar challenges. I had the same challenges. No matter where you move, you have the same challenges. So at some point, we even thought we'd have to hop between the Airbnbs forever. And trust me, this is not a fun thing to do when you have a 3-year-old kid. And then one day, we walked into a dosa shop and Shrikant, my husband, started doing what all of us do when we are desperate. He started talking to random people. And that was my first reminder, which I almost forgot after 10 years in Germany. You can actually talk to people you don't know. And it feels good. Long story short, one day later, we moved into the most gorgeous heritage home with the kindest landlord you could wish for. And that happened just one day before Diwali. So finding our first home here was the first of the magical occurrences that started happening all the time since our move to India. Yes, I said magic. You may think that I've gone mad, magic, but it's truly one of the most profound ways in which India has changed me. I started noticing magic everywhere around me. Things that could not happen, happened. Things that could happen, didn't. And no, I'm not talking about bureaucracy here, and not even about the traffic. If you believe in energies, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. India is a country of contrasts. You see extreme opposites next to each other all the time, in landscapes, in people, in cities, and everything you see is, of course, real India. That's why they say that as an outsider, you either love the country or you hate it. And how you feel about it, it solely depends on what you choose to focus on. And if you can read between the lines, this refers to pretty much everything in your life. The year I moved to India, I was at a kind of lost stage of my life. I felt completely disconnected with my business, I felt purposeless, another business went bust, I was learning to be a good parent to a toddler. And worst thing, I actually felt that I was drifting away from the way I really wanted to live. I went away from my values and what was important for me. In fact, that feeling was exactly what prompted our move to India altogether. I know, it sounds like a cliche. A girl goes to India in search of life purpose and spiritual awakening. But I want to be brutally honest here. I moved to India to live a normal life like any other ambitious middle-class person would, with all its challenges and joys. I have my family here. So I just strive to live a healthy life, and that's why I chose to settle not in a city, but in a modern village. I craved community, beautiful and comfortable spaces, tropical weather, and the atmosphere that sparks creativity rather than kills it. Because I was in that atmosphere before. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a content creator, so I wanted to be in a place which is full of life and can be infinite source of inspiration. So the place where I live right now, in rural India, in the smallest state of the country, is exactly this type of a place. Whenever I feel out of balance, I have everything right here to get back to myself. When I wake up in the morning, I rush to the backyard where I can watch the sunrise. In this way, my life starts with the biggest nature wonder. It starts with beauty and the reminder that every single day is a new beginning. Every single day I can start from scratch. I drop my daughter to school, picking up flowers on the way. I cycle to yoga through the lanes of mango trees, guessing how many buckets of mangoes can be picked. I go to the fishermen and watch them pulling the daily catch out of the ships. It reminds me how generous the ocean is. I visit my favorite temple, which opens its doors straight into the water, and think that real spirituality lies where humans merge with the forces of nature. Okay, now that I told it, and show that it really feels like a very idyllic picture, that I'm living a very holistic, beautiful and relaxed life. And I need to tell you the truth, that still the bigger, much bigger part of my day goes to work, to doing errands, to being a householder, to being a family person, to actually, going through the normal things of life which are not shown on social media because it's just straight boring. But in the end of the day, I always choose what to focus on, and I always bring myself back to the balance with doing what I do, with connecting with the nature and with the things around me in the environment. And this is what in the end fundamentally makes me happy. So now, after 2 years here, I can clearly see how India changed me. The unbelievable natural beauty with which I start the day and end it gives me peace of mind and sparks my creativity in a way I didn't know was even possible. I learned to live in a managed chaos which follows its own rules, because this is what our lives always are, wherever we live, let's face it. Order and predictability are just an illusion. The more I dive into the culture and natural wealth of the country, the more I appreciate the beauty and diversity of our universe. I now have a strong belief that everything is possible. But did you notice one thing? To change your life, you truly don't need to move to India. You don't need to move anywhere at all. Whatever I told you about, you can find, even if in a different form, in any place you live. India changed my life, or so I thought. My real change happened from within. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.